Jonathan Martinez, ranked number 12, gets a legend. He gets Jose Aldo, man. This is an honor to fight. But AJ, you take this honor to fight in enemy territory. This is not just enemy territory. If you are uninitiated and you're not familiar with the Brazilian crowd and UFC and MMA in Brazil, let's just say that this is like walking into the enemy's home base while they got all they like AKs and rocket launchers out ready to go, all pointed at you. And by the way, while you're like mid scrap, they're like chucking bottles at you and shit. Like that's what this is. But this is the fight at hand. So Jose Aldo, man, listen, not a pretty situation right here because again, we talked about it. I'm going to pull up the big screen. 37 years old at 135 pounds. We do not like that number. We do not like that Jose Aldo is returning back from his retirement to do this like go away fight. We don't like it because we love the legend who is Jose Aldo, and that's pure respect. But with all of that being said, and with a quick look at the numbers, were you surprised to see that the open was damn near a pick'em? Minus 115 Martinez, minus 105 Aldo?
Absolutely, Derek. I was 100% surprised to see that. In fact, I mean, King of Rio gets a lot of respect. So shout out to the odds makers right here. I mean, I don't know if it's the training I alluded to in the intro, the boxing that he's been going at it. Maybe he said that maybe they're seeing some tapes. Maybe Jose Aldo has rejuvenated and broken that 35 curse, but we'll see, man, because I was very shocked to see this.
My biggest surprise is that if you look at the closing line right here, it hasn't shifted much, AJ. That's what's surprising. Closing line that I'm taking a look at right now, minus 150 in favor of the Dragon, Jonathan Martinez, plus 125 comeback for Jose Aldo in Rio. Come on, hometown game right here. You got to give him a little bit of love. But I think there's another reason right here, AJ. I think there is a very clear reason why Jose Aldo has a good chance of being victorious in this fight. Let's look at the last couple of losses on the record. You're looking at Merab Dvalishvili, Piotr Jan, Marlon Moraes, Alexander Volkanovski, Max Holloway. Everybody that I just named on that list, AJ, every single person except Marlon Moraes and Merab were champions on that list. You don't lose to normal folks, right? Jonathan Martinez, on the other hand, he's been on a hot one. A couple decisions here and there, AJ, where I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Maybe a gift or two, right? But long story short, this was my reasoning. If you watch Jonathan Martinez fight, what do you notice? The primary weapon are the legs, right? And they're dangerous. But that's the primary weapon. Keep you at kick range, kick away. I'll use my hands a little bit, but then get back out of kick range and, pick away at you, right? Whether it's leg kicks, body kicks, he's going to hurt you. He's dangerous. Legs hurt, right? Jose Aldo, on the other hand, a little more flat-footed, a little more rooted, is not afraid to stand in the pocket, trade, check kicks, do the entire nine, but more important, sit there in punching range and box with you. He has to close the distance, but Jonathan Martinez also has to get away from the physicality of Jose Aldo. And I think Jose Aldo is going to be a bully enough to get away from that flowy kick style that Jonathan Martinez thrives in. Also, he wrestles a little bit. So that's my presenting argument to you, sir. Almost like I'm a lawyer, Your Honor. That's my opening statement right there. What do you have back? How does Jonathan Martinez keep the old dog Jose Aldo off him?
Yeah, no, it's all great points, Derek, especially because we've seen Jose Aldo. And especially myself, I doubted him. I was like, man, we haven't seen the leg kicks. This is like 2 years ago. We haven't seen the leg kicks in so long. This guy can't come back and do it. Next thing we're seeing him just absolutely eat up people's legs, right? Jose Aldo kicking again, man. You'd love to see it. He has all those intangibles to be able to do what you're saying. How Jonathan Martinez gets it done, Derek, is speed. And it's hard to beat Jose Aldo in a speed contest, especially when you're in his turf. You have that allure of Jose Aldo in Rio. This is, you were right. This is the ultimate home ground, and we could see a home team happen right here. But if Jonathan Martinez is able to just stay away, play a smart fight, right? I'm not saying run in the whole time, but stay on your bike, maintain kicking range, and try not to engage in the dogfight that Jose Aldo is going to bring. And I laugh at it because that is going to happen, folks. There is going to be a dogfight on this one, especially for the last fight. You got to give the fans a little bit something right here, but it is an interesting battle to see if the new age has taken over the old ones. But man, it's hard to bet against Jose Aldo, to be completely frank with you, Derek. I just see Jonathan Martinez as being the quicker, younger, more athletic fighter in this fight.
And your take on this fight is my take on a couple other fights we're going to break down. Sometimes you have to roll with youth. It's the reality of the situation, man. Jose Aldo is a legend, and part of the game, unfortunately, folks, transparency alert right here, part of the game is sometimes you've been covering and watching this long enough, you bet on Jose Aldo out of respect, like on some mafia stuff, like out of pure respect for the legend of the game. You say in Rio, Jose Aldo home game, we got to take a flyer, just pure value right there. And the value that is when it comes down to any live dog, there's one barking dog on this card. It's Jose Aldo, man. Everybody else, I think it's very fair lines across the board. But with that being said, let's talk a little bit of strategy from these numbers and then keep it pushing. So Jonathan Martinez, best path to victory according to the odds makers is going to be a decision at plus 135. And I actually like that. My question to you is more about the over-under. Over 2.5 rounds, minus 300. The under is plus 240. Are you taking that over?
Minus 300 for the over. I mean, if you're looking, well, because it's a 3-round fight. So if you're already looking at that last 2.5 minutes, I like the decision prop better. I'm not taking that minus 300.
You're not taking the minus 300. Yeah, no, fair enough. No, fair enough, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's if you're unconfident on who you think is going to be victorious in this matchup. But I do think if you look at these fighters historically, as of late, decision fighters, yeah, Jonathan Martinez got a couple leg kick victories, but aside from that, it's been decisions, and that's the reality. Now, is there any concern here? And I don't say that, I say this in a joking way, but I say this kind of seriously at the same time. Are you concerned at all? Decision in Rio for the King of Rio. Are you concerned that the judges are like, oh, I didn't see any of that? Come on. Maybe I wasn't looking when Martinez was landing the big shots. What do you think?
I alluded to it earlier when I said we could see a home team happen right here. Usually in MMA, you're fighting in front of your hometown. You get a little nervous. All your friends and family are watching. In Rio, it's another story. We might see some shenanigans. And no disrespect. I mean, hey, it's how the game goes in Rio.
That's how the game goes, brother. All right, so again, this is a battle of a kicker versus a full-fledged mixed martial artist. Jonathan Martinez has come a long way. He is very good, but I just think that this is a different step up in opposition. The smart play through and through is generally roll with the youth, but I am taking a flyer, folks. This side of the screen over here, we're taking a flyer on the King of Rio, Jose Aldo, out of pure value. AJ's rocking with Jonathan Martinez. Take the decision play. That's my favorite right there, plus 200 for Jose Aldo, or take the barking dog at plus 125 across the board.